In this lesson, we're going to be dividing polynomials, but before we do that, I want to review how we divide when we have exponents. So x to the 7th divided by x to the 4th is the same as x to the 7th over x to the 4th. And remember, this means that we have 7 x's in the numerator and 4 x's in the denominator. Now these, if you cancel the 4 in the denominator with 4 in the numerator, you would have 3 left, which would be x to the 3rd. So really what you're doing is you're taking 7 minus 4, and that gives you 3. Here we have 30x to the 14th divided by 6x to the 6th. Now when we're dividing just the numbers, we look for the common factor. 6 goes into 6 one time, 6 goes into 35 times, or you could think of 30 divided by 6 as 5. And then if there are 6 x's in the denominator and we cancel 6 in the numerator, there would be 8 left. So we have 5x to the 8th. 14 minus 6 is 8. So when we are dividing variables, we subtract the exponent. So let's review. Factors divide evenly into a product. 12 times 320, those are factors. The product is 3,840. And because these are factors, when we divide either of these in, there should not be a remainder. So we're going to review long division with just numbers at first here. So the algorithm that we use with long division is we divide, and then we multiply, and then we subtract, and finally we bring down, and then we start over again. So first of all, we want to divide 12 into 38. That goes in there 3 times. Then we multiply. 3 times 12 is 36. Then we subtract. And so I change the sign right here. So that's minus. 38 minus 6 is 2. Then we bring down the next number. So now we go back up to divide. 12 into 24 is 2. And then we multiply 2 times 12, and that's 24. And then we subtract, and that gives you 0, and bring down another 0. And now lastly, we divide. 12 goes into 0, 0 times. Multiply 0 times 12, you get 0. And then subtract, you have 0 left over. And there's nothing to bring down. And 12 times 320 is 3840. All right, let's do some more long division. Now this time we're going to divide 672, so that goes inside, by 21. So again, the algorithm is divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So 21 divided into 67 would be 3. So that gives us 63. And then we 3 times 21 is 63. That was multiply, and now we subtract. So that gives us 4, and then we bring down the 2. So back up to the top, we divide. 21 goes into 42 twice. Multiply 2 times 21, that's 42. And we subtract, and we have 0 left over. So now we're done with that one. There's a remainder of 0. So that tells me that 21 was a factor of 672. Now let's try the long division, but this time we're going to divide with polynomials. So we have 6x squared plus 7x plus 2 getting divided by 2x plus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is divide. Now when we're dividing polynomials, what we really look at is the first term going into the first term. And so we say 2 times what gives us 6? Well, 3. So, and then x times what would give us x squared? That would be x. Or you could say x squared divided by x is x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now we multiply. So we divided and now we multiply. But when we multiply, we have to multiply 3x times both terms. So that gives us 6x squared plus 3x. Next, we subtract. Now, be careful here because you're subtracting the whole thing. So this becomes a minus, and this becomes a minus. So I'm going to just scribble that out right there. So now we subtract. So this cancels. 7x minus 3x is 4x. And now we bring down plus 2. So now we're back to the top. We subtract, or excuse me, we divide 2x into 4x. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then x divided by x is 1. So we have Now we multiply. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. Now we subtract. So minus and a minus. Scribble that out right there. So that cancels, and we have 2 minus 2 is 0, and so there is no remainder, and so the answer is 3x plus 2. All right, let's do it again. Now this time we're going to divide with real numbers, so we have 25 into 579. Again, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So 25 into 57 is 2. Multiply, we have 50. Subtract, we have 7. Bring down, we have 9. Now we go back to divide. 25 into 79 is 3. 3 times 25 is 75. We subtract, we have 4 left over, so we have a remainder of 4. Now there are a couple ways we can express our remainder. You can just write remainder 4, or you could write 23 and there is 4 left over, so it's 4 25ths. So either way you could write your answer. Here's another one. Now we'll do it with polynomials. So x plus 5, we're going to divide it into 4x squared plus 23x minus 16. I want you to notice that both of the polynomials are in standard form. And by that I mean the exponents are in descending order. So you have 4x squared plus 23x, and then there's no x term here. So it's x squared, x to the 1, x to the 0. If we were missing one of those, we would put in a 0 as a placeholder. So first of all, we divide. So x times what would give us 4x squared? You'd have to multiply by 4x. So now we multiply. 4x times x is 4x squared, and 4x times 5 is 20x. Now we subtract. This is a minus, and this becomes a minus. So this cancels, and so we have 23 minus 20 is 3x, and then we bring down. Now we're dividing. X goes into 3x, so you can say x times what gives me 3x. Now you multiply, so we have 3x plus 15, and then we subtract, so change your signs. So that gives us negative 31 left over. So we can just write remainder of negative 31, or you could write 4x plus 3 minus 31 over this, which is x plus 5. All right, here's another one to practice. Let's do this. X minus 7 into 3x squared minus 29x plus 56. So first we divide. So x times what would give us 3x squared? So 3x. Now we multiply. Then we subtract. So we change the signs. So that gives us a negative 8x plus 56. Now we divide again. That would be negative 8. So now we have negative 8x plus 56. And then we change the signs. So because we're subtracting, minus a minus is a plus, and that's a minus, and so the remainder in that one is 0. All right, the next question says, is x squared plus 1 a factor of 3x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 12x squared plus 5? If it's a factor, it would divide evenly into it with a remainder of 0. So we are dividing into 3x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 12x squared. Oh, there's not a plain x term right here, so we're going to write 0x plus 5. It gets pretty confusing if you don't write in the 0 term there. Here we have x squared, and again, we don't have an x term, so we'll write 0x plus 1. Okay, let's go for this here. So first, x squared into 3x to the 4th. That would be 3x squared. And then we multiply. 3x squared times x squared is 3x to the 4th. And that would be 0x cubed plus 3x squared. And now we're going to subtract. So every sign changes. And so this cancels. We would have 4x cubed plus 9x squared, and then we'll bring down the next term. Now we divide x squared times what gives us 4x squared? We would say 4x. Now let's multiply. So we have 4x cubed plus 0x squared plus 4x. So that was multiply. So now we subtract. So we have 9x squared, let's see, minus 4x, and then we'll bring down the 5. So x squared times what gives me 9x squared? That would be 9. And now we have 9x squared plus 0x plus 9. And now we subtract. So that would be a minus 4x minus 4. So the remainder is this. So you could write remainder minus 4x minus 4, or you can just write minus 4x minus 4, or we'll write plus, and then minus 4x minus 4 all over x squared plus 0x plus 1. All right. And so it is not a factor because it has a remainder. And that's it for the long division. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching.